Good morning to all of you. My name is Akash Saurabh and I'm here to act as a role of Zoom Master and Surgeon at Arms for today's meeting. A warm welcome to all of you for today's Mumbai Speakers 38 Club meetings. I will start our day with a famous quote on happiness. That is, if you want to be happy, do not dwell in the past, do not worry about the futures, focus on living fully in the present. In simple words, I would like to say that just forget the regrets, pains of the past, forget the worries, insecurities, and fears of the futures, and just focus on the day. Live the day because God has gifted 86,400 seconds to all of us. There are three ground rules followed in the Toastmaster meeting club. The first one is that please switch off your mobile or put your mobile on silent mode. The second one is that we do not talk about sex, religion, and politics. So we should refrain from these three topics. The last one is that while in the meeting, please do not cross talk. As we are going for a virtual meeting in the Zoom, so we have to follow some guidelines. The first one is that rename yourself like a role, then underscore that name. The second maybe member underscore name. The last one is the guest underscore name. For this, you can go for the settings, click on the profile, then click on the edit my profile, and then make the changes. Second thing is that please do not post anything on the chat box for all participants in this meeting unless the speaker has asked for audience response or any kind of response. Use reaction button to convey your appreciations or applause. Click on the reaction button which is on the below of your screen. All speakers are requested to do a quick audio and video check before they speak. Please ensure yourself that you are able to see the timer cards before you're beginning your speech. Do not click on the share screen unless your speech or role requires you to do so. You can display a hi-fi or namaste while talking over or leaving from a role. You can connect with me for any technical glitch because I am also the Zoom master for today's meeting. The meeting is being recorded. In case you have any reservation or issues, you can contact me. We can pause this recording. For giving applause, you can clap like in this video or use the reaction button and click the clap option. The mission of the Mumbai Speakers Toastmaster Club is that we provide a supportive and positive learning space in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, I would like to call one of the persons in our club who is very humble, an experienced guy, and a mentor. We are not going to learn, we can learn not only the communication skill, but all other things. He's none anyone but Mr. Babu Narayana. Over to you, Toastmaster Babu Narayana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akash, for your very warm words of introduction this Sunday morning. Thank you so much. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, a very good morning to all of you. In line with some of the thoughts that I had expressed in the last meeting, while most leaders attribute their success to the qualities I had described, such as competence, charisma, character, and of course, communication, it goes without saying that the role of an influencer a guide, mentor, philosopher, or what is commonly known as a role model cannot be discounted in the success of any person. I was reading about Bill Gates in one of the books on top and in fact of countries around the world. One of the most interesting things that he said was that while he was an influencer himself, his foray into philanthropy arose because of the influence that his wife, Melinda Gates, now ex-wife, had over him, because she herself was a highly philanthropic person. Of course, what I was reading was relating to business leaders, but these influences exist all around us, whether in the political spectrum, in the social spectrum, whether in sports, films, or what have you. In fact, you don't even have to look very far. They are around you in your neighborhood, or perhaps even within your own family. Like in my case, if someone were to ask me who is my role model, like many of you, I would say, these successful leaders have a certain quirkiness, a certain eccentricity, joy, a certain
Is my voice audible?
yes. Please share your thoughts on how you came or how you're attending today's meeting and what has been your personal and professional experience. You can share it with us. Sweta, we can't hear you. Hello? I think we have lost
Is
her.
my voice audible?
Yes, it's audible now. Yes, Shweta, go on.
Shweta, I think she's back muted, I think.
Yes, actually I had lost my connection. Is my
Try again.
Yes, is it audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, there is some network fluctuation at my place, and hence I'm unable to switch on my video.
Yeah.
So, yes, hi. Pleasure to be a part of Toastmasters today. And this is my first session. I wasn't able to attend it last Sunday. So I'm very excited to be a part out here and probably in the next few sessions also participate.
Okay. Thank you so much. And we do hope that you will be able to attend all our future sessions as well. And
Absolutely.
we look forward to having you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I don't think we have any other guests today. So let us move with our session this morning. And as I said, we have a Toastmaster today, a relative newcomer to Mumbai speakers, but definitely a very interesting personality because he seems to be a man of contrast. Because when I asked for his introduction, he said he was a shy person, but at the same time, brave and adventurous. He said he's a foodie, but a foodie who's also a fitness freak. He said he was traditional, but yet had an open mind to mind and matter, if I may call it. So, fellow Toastmasters, let us put our hands together for this enigmatic Toastmaster, Toastmaster Raghav, who will take us through this morning session. Over to you, Toastmaster Raghav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Babu, for this warm introduction. So, good morning, fellow Toastmaster.
Good morning.
This morning, when I woke up, I heard a feeble voice inside me, which said, miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep. Yes, the guess is right. These lines are from the very famous American poet, Robert Lee Frost, I believe the most celebrated poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. This poem is on the backdrop of the journey of life and the intricate complications that come along with it. Just to rephrase it, there are just so many things to do in life, but with so little time in hand. In this 21st century, I believe many of us spend most of our time, we are solely focused on our careers. We study so hard from childhood onwards. Then we step onto the professional life. Again, we start working rigorously. Then after a certain point, when we reflect on our life, suddenly we realize, okay, I have achieved maybe most of my career goals. But where does life go from here onwards? Why I have the feeling that I am missing out something in my life? Why don't I feel that fulfilled as I ought to? With this and many more different perspectives, we will discuss during this meeting. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the Mumbai Toastmasters Club. For the benefit of the guest, I would like to describe the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 rounds. The first round is the prepared speech round. In this round, speakers will deliver their speeches depending on their project and path they have chosen. The second round is the table topics round. This table topics round is also called impromptu speech round. In this table topics round, members can practice and speak thinking on their feet. Isn't it interesting? And you know, guests are also welcome to participate in this table topics round. The third round is the evaluation round. In the evaluation round, all the speeches and other conducts of the meeting will be evaluated by the general evaluator and the team and her team. So as a Toastmaster of the day, it is my duty to introduce the role bearers who will assist me to run things smoothly during this meeting. For example, we always know, since time is so precious, we need to keep track of time of each speeches, isn't it? So to keep track of time during the speeches, we have Toastmaster Ritik. When I asked Toastmaster Ritik, has anyone had any unique influence in your life so far? He said, my uncle inspired me to stand up to people. Now in today's world, we all understand how important it is, to defending yourself, to standing up to yourself. Otherwise, people are always, trying to exploit you. So this is what Toastmaster Ritik had to say. So now I would like to ask Toastmaster Ritik to please explain the timer rules. Over to you, Toastmaster Ritik.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Raghav. As a timer, it's my duty to help speakers to express their thoughts in allotted time limits. I'll be showing 3 cards throughout the timer's role. The first one is the green card, which indicates its qualifying time. The yellow card that indicates its target time, and the red card, which indicates it's the maximum allotted time which you can take. For icebreaker speech, you have a time limit of 4 to 6 minutes. So I'll be presenting a green card at 4 minutes, a yellow card at 5 minutes, and a red card at 6 minutes. And the grace period for the icebreaker is 30 seconds in upper limit. For prepared speeches, we have a green card at 5 minutes, the yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. And there is a grace period of 30 seconds in upper limit. So you can speak till 7 minutes 30 seconds. And I'll be presenting my timings reports once I called by the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritik. Now, when we speak, sometimes, of course, we always try to follow like how correctly we're using grammar in a sentences while we are speaking. But sometimes, even we are not realizing, we are not using the grammar properly in the sentences. So to keep track of the good and not so good uses of grammar, we have Toastmaster Angelbert. So I asked Toastmaster Angelbert, of course, you are in a profession at present. So if you are not in your current profession, what would you rather do? He said, I would be a full-time food blogger because I am a foodie. In fact, you would be delighted to know that Toastmaster Angelbert has already taken the first step in that direction. He has already started working on his food blog. Over to you, Toastmaster Angelbert.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So as a grammarian, my responsibility is, in fact, divided into 3. One is to and observe and listen carefully all the correct usages of the English language. My second responsibility is also to note down all the not so correct usage of the English grammar or English words language. And the third is to, as a grammarian, my duty is to introduce the word of the day. Since the Toastmaster of the day, Raghav, has already said that I am a foodie, so my example also will be related to food. So today the word of the day is meticulous. I repeat, meticulous. So I'll give you an example. While the restaurant's interior is small, it is meticulously decorated. On this very nice note, I encourage all the speakers to use this word of the day in their speeches or wherever it is possible. And it is my responsibility to, while the general evaluator asks me to report, I need to give him the report of the usage of the correct usages of English language as well as word of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Angelbert. When we speak, we always realize that we use a lot of and ums in our sentences. Like maybe I have already used a few times already, now that I think about it. Okay, so just to keep track of the and ums during the meeting, we have the counter of the day, Toastmaster Ajay. So I asked Toastmaster Ajay, what would you do? Like now you're working. Of course, everyone has to return from work, right? They can't always be working. So at that time, what would you do? And his reply was very interesting. He said, the word retirement actually doesn't even exist in my dictionary. I just tore that page away because I feel I'm very fit. And as long as I'm fit and working, I just don't think about retirement and all. When the retirement comes, we'll see what happens then. Over to you, Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Raghav. Today's my role as a R counter is to note down all the unnecessary sound used by all speakers during the sessions. It includes the crush sounds, filler words, but, like, so, okay. Filler phrases, you know, and, so, etc. Extremely long pauses. These all touch words or filler sounds obstruct the smooth flow of any speech. Sometimes it can be annoying to the listener. At the same time, lower the speech of the value. Therefore, my role is to note all these words and phrases in order to help them to become aware and minimize in future speeches when they deliver. I will present our counter report when called upon by the general evaluator at the end of the sessions. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Mr. Raghav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. So, the first speaker for this round will be attempting her first speech, meaning it is the icebreaker speech. To evaluate this speech, we have Toastmaster Sarika. Toastmaster Sarika, I request you to please read out the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Sarika.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Today, my speaker is attempting L1 P1 level. The purpose of the project is for the members to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. So that's the objective. The title of the speech is What Personality Am I Today? All the best. Good luck, my speaker, Toastmaster Usha. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarika. When I asked Toastmaster Usha that what are the 3 must-visit places for you that you think that one must visit in his lifetime, her reply was, it's LFP in Kerala, then Mount Abu and Manas Sarovar. I really hope that the entire Mumbai Toastmasters Club team, we all go together to these 3 places along with you. So Toastmaster Usha, which personality am I today? Which personality am I today? Toastmaster Usha, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Raghav. Can everybody see and hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can see you.
Thanks for giving me this opportunity of presenting my first speech as an icebreaker. Frankly, doing an icebreaker session is not new to me. I have done it multiple times during my 40 years of career, but it has always been orchestrated. Depending on the group which I am, I could be with my peers, I could be with my seniors, I could be with external consultants. I always modify my icebreaking speech depending on the circumstances. So it's always been, have I really spoken about myself in any of these icebreaker speeches? So well, I did get an opportunity now to actually think and talk about myself in the icebreaker speech. I started by visualizing what does an icebreaker really mean. I stood in front of an ice and thought, should I be chiseling out the ice and only talk about the positive aspects that I have in my career or in my life? Or should I be working just like the Golawala whom we used to see very regularly, making use of the entire ice in a very beautiful way, cleaning the saw and then actually driving the driving the whole thing through a wheel of time and serving it in a very colorful manner. I chose the second one. And I start today by talking a little about myself, and which shows what my personality is all about. I am a second one born to a typical Tambram family from Kerala. Well, when I said I am one, it meant I am a daughter to my mother, but I'm a son to my father. My father wanted me to be a son, and he was a little disappointed when he heard that yes, he had got a second daughter. He took almost a month to come and visit me in my native place. And it took time for him to actually come and visit me. And what happened? The moment he saw me, he was aghast. It was a dangal moment for him. I was here, a chubby one, with just a single hair on my head. And for all practical purposes, I resembled a boy. So he started treating me as a boy from that day onwards and trying to fulfill all his aspirations through me. My school life was very unincidental, a topper in class, a normal, assumed monitor in all the divisions. I just progressed with all the limelight on me. And suddenly in the 9th standard, I got competition. There was one girl who stepped in from the CBSE board and she was extremely good. And suddenly I found I had developed certain additional layers to my personality. I started envying. I started being angry at what things were happening. I was no longer the star of the school. Things changed. I went to college. Today I really don't know what language what I studied, whether I'm from science or arts or commerce stream. My father had grown in his career, and as an accountant general, he used to go and audit a lot of senior people in the government offices. And he came back noticing all the vivid the designations and the professionals that others had gone through, and he wanted me to leave each and everything of that. So I started taking science. I did my actuarial science, did my law, 2 years. I did 2 years law, and then I started doing CFA. So well, I ended up not knowing whether I am a science graduate, a master in economics, or a max graduate. I just don't know. I am very confused, as much as all of us are here. I started my career in one of the major banks and went through a phase where I was auditing the Rajasthan Canal project, one of the beautiful projects that we have done, something which we are all proud of, to see a desert being changed into greenery. And I loved being part of that project. But during that phase, I also got the opportunity to actually get into the computer division of the bank. Computers were growing, and we got an internal chance to be part of the computers. So then I again restarted my hard disk. I no longer wanted to do economics or maths. I was now into basics and Pascal and Java and C++ coding. My learning started all over again. And this last 20 or 30 years that I've been in the IT field has been a day and in and out of learning. It has evolved my personality, and it has also taught me how to get along with people of multiple facets, people from various educational background and people with various expectations. Today, I handle a team of around 400 people, and most of them are in the 25 to 30 age group. So in a way, I'm almost one generation ahead of them. As I grew, as I have moved on in my life and my career, I started getting interested in a bit of social work. We started a non-NGO called Reform Image Group. A group of 6 of us formed an NGO and started working in that NGO. From that, I have progressed to becoming a part of Rotary. I have taken up a lot of roles in Rotary. And last year, I planned meticulously to become the president of Rotary Club of Mumbai Mahim. Fortunately or unfortunately, I ended up getting a career along with my presidentship and started working out of Pune. It was a nightmare. I was just worried, how could I be take up presidentship along with working out of Pune, which is a totally different location. But as situation happens, and as they say, if you want something, the circumstances will really assist you. COVID stuck. And frankly, for me, COVID has been very, very positive. It taught me how to do social work sitting at home, how to plan a lot of activities without having to go to the field, how to utilize people in the ground to actually do a lot of community projects without physically being there. And it expanded my personality a lot. Today, when I talk about career, I want to be a career where I care. I'd want to drop the ease from there and just be a caring person. And just like what they say, I want to have all those garbages in my head. No longer it is a dustbin. I live for today. My personality as a person is what I want to be today and not carry what I have been the last 60 years of my life or what I want to be tomorrow. So with this, I complete my ice-breaking session and hand over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Usha, for this lovely icebreaker speech. So the second speaker for this round will be attempting level 1, project 2 from the persuasive speaking part. To evaluate this, we have Toastmaster Babu. I request Toastmaster Babu to please read out these speech objectives. To you, Toastmaster Babu.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Today, our speaker will be attempting to deliver her second speech in the Pathways Manual, level 1. And she is expected to deliver a well-constructed, well-organized speech and to receive feedback from this speech, which is to be further incorporated in the second speech. Now, this speech can be of any category, could be a humorous speech or an informational or any thing that she chooses to deliver on. We know the speaker to be a meticulous Toastmaster, and I'm sure that she will bring that entire element into her speech today. So all the best to the speaker, and it's over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Babu. When I asked Toastmaster Mehak, what is a happy and fulfilled life according to you? She simply smiled and said to me, I'm already living it. How can you ask me these questions? I do not wish things to be any different. Toastmaster Mehak, difficulties don't strengthen you. Difficulties don't strengthen you. Toastmaster Mehak.
Can you hear me, see me properly?
Yep.
Yep. When the whistle blows, it's just you and the goal. At that moment, everything around me just slowed down, and the coach's instructions flashed in my head. And I went on checking everything meticulously. Stance, correct. Eyes on the goal, check. Take a deep breath and shoot. Good morning to all my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, I'm here before you to give you a little sneak peek into some part of my life and to speak about how difficulties don't only strengthen you, but shape you into something phenomenal. I'm a hockey player, and the years of playing have been the most precious years of my life. The initial story was when our school team was in the finals for the very first time, which went to a tiebreaker, and we were in the penalties. Being the captain, I had gone last, and scoring that winning goal was for the team was then upon my shoulders. We had won the cup, the tournament. For the very first time, our school had its name on a hockey league cup. Proud moment. Having your own mother as the coach makes things complicated. When your unbiased mom appreciates others even though you performed better than them, it hurts. But it also makes you want to try harder, makes you want to go beyond the limits. It makes you want to be mesmerizing, to grow and to be the best. Sports has been one of the most constant parts of my life that has helped me get through other mind-boggling situations, like a 5-minute Toastmaster speech. Like typical Indian students who got above 90% in their 10th standard exams, I and all the other students who had opted for science spent 2 years chasing a rank at the JEE exams to get into IIT. 2 years of our lives, drowned in books, classes, and college. Literally, I did not move from this place. All my food, water, everything comfort. Just I used to move from going from here to class, back to college, and then come back here. Alas, I didn't achieve that goal. But then it makes you want to stop and glance at that situation again. The opportunities that were invisible before were so clear now that you curse yourself for not noticing them. The positives were that I learned to apply concepts which was never taught in school. We always followed a rote learning system. I also learned that no matter how many failures you have in life, it doesn't mean that it's the end. In fact, I learned that to believe that it is the beginning of a new chapter. It's a new direction to explore, a different path to take, to look at the picture from a different perspective, from a bigger perspective. Problems, hurdles, difficult situations, we all have them, all at a different degree. But not all of us accept it and face it. Turning your back on a problem will not allow you to solve it. On the contrary, that action leaves you exposed. Living in Mumbai, you get to experience the harsh monsoons and find a lot of coconut trees. During my JEE preparation, I was studying for an upcoming test, and my mind kept wandering, overthinking decisions, pitying myself, trying to think of as many as excuses as I could, treating myself as the victim of circumstances. And then I looked out my window, and outside was a heavy downpour. It was really very, very windy. Then I noticed the coconut tree. The branches were literally moving in circles. I was absolutely sure that that trunk would just snap and the tree would fall. But it didn't. Storms just came and went, but that tree did not fall. Instead, it thrives. And I like to believe that it is because the tree knows that its only source of water is the rain. And why can't it get a little rain if it needs life all year? I realized that what mattered the most was its strong roots and its ability to sway with the wind. The irony is that challenges itself to become stronger than it already is. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said, difficulties in your life don't come to destroy you, but to help you realize your hidden potential and power. Let difficulties know that you too are difficult. Pain and winning, two sides of the same coin. Winning comes with a price. You just have to be brave enough to face the problems, to thrive through it, to become exceptional. Legends aren't born. They are formed from the struggles of reality, which later becomes their tools to success. Every stone that is thrown at you can be converted into an opportunity, because life isn't just about who and what you are, but about the journey that is taken to that you took to reach there. We are all a collection of stories. That's who you really are. And in the end, what matters is that you are still standing. So sing along with Taron Egerton as he says, I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because no matter what people say, difficulties don't strengthen you. They make you extraordinary. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak, for this beautiful speech. Meticulously delivered, I must say. So the third speaker for this round will be attempting the level 1 project 2 from the dynamic leadership part. To evaluate this speech, we have Toastmaster Deep. Toastmaster Deep, I request you to please read out the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Deep.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. So today, Toastmaster Glenn is going to deliver his level 1 project 2 speech with the title, Changing the Way We Learn. The purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she can apply the feedback received. So please note, this is the first speech. I wish my speaker, Toastmaster Glenn, the very best of luck. And timer, please note the time allotted for this speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you very much. And back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deep. When I asked Toastmaster Glenn, what are the 3 things always scary to an island when you are on a holiday? His answer was very insightful. He said, island can be dangerous at times. So I always make sure I have a knife in my back pocket. So apart from my knife, I always carry my swimming goggles and my camera. Toastmaster Glenn, changing the way we learn. Changing the way we learn, Toastmaster Glenn. Over to you.
Okay, am I audible and visible?
Yep.
Thank you. Coming from a learning and development background, I am often tasked with the challenge of creating content that is engaging, that keeps the learner hooked till the very end. You see, I'm talking about real boring content, complex processes, data transfers that happen from one individual to another during classroom training sessions that are run for 8 hours a day and sometimes for months, 1 or 2 months, and sometimes even more. I bet if Russell Peters was doing this job, he would have had his hands full. Imagine this. I want you to close your eyes and think that you have no camera. And in some situations, you do not even have access to a microphone, sometimes due to security reasons, sometimes due to technical challenges. You're listening to someone speaking on the other side of the planet, who, while speaks the same tongue, you may not understand the lingo because of a difference in dialect, accent, and culture. Now, while these were concerns of high-performing first-world companies working with their offshore counterparts, thanks to COVID, this became a living nightmare for every Indian organization. And not only that, even my daughter's kindergarten classroom. I'd like you to now answer this poll which Toastmaster D will run on your screen, and you will have 4 options to choose from. I want to hear what you think is the best form of learning. You have visual, auditory, read and write, and then why the process of learning, which is basically kinesthetic learning. So I'll give you a few seconds, take this poll. I want to hear from you, and I request Toastmaster Deep to also share the results. So over here, while that's done, I am also, and Toastmaster Deep, if you can just maybe, okay, I don't have access to share my screen at this time, but there's a PowerPoint presentation that I'd like to show. If someone can help me with that, or give me the access. Okay, Toastmaster Deep, I want you to go to the next slide with the pyramid on it, please. Thank you so much. And I hope that this is visible. So I want you to look at some meticulous data. This research was done by the National Institute of Training in Maine, USA. This was done in 1960. This shows you different ways how learners learn and how they engage while learning. My concern is only the top bit, which is circled, which shows you that only 5% of the population learns through the form of lectures, which, by the way, also resonates with what you guys have just shared. So that if you don't already have the results, 100% of you said that people often learn while doing. So thank you, and thank you, Toastmaster Deep, for sharing this particular slide. With that being said, my concern is today our country still learns. This is the primary form of delivery across the country. To give you a little bit of a background, Thomas Edison predicted the end of the classroom in the year 1877, thanks to his invention of the moving picture. Now, while this didn't happen right there, and it took 144 years, it was forced upon us, but we have finally seen the disappearance of the classroom. Learnings have changed, and things will never be the same again. It is the new norm. I sincerely believe that there is a dire need for change, for trainers and teachers to move or transition from being the sage by the stage to the guide by the side. Learning needs to change from passive to active. Now, I've seen that there's been a lot of video-based learnings that go on. That's kind of the new trend. I'm not a big fan of that because if you ask me, video-based learnings is just an animated lecture. I mean, how often have you just flipped the channel on your TV or skipped an annoying ad on YouTube just because the content did not resonate with you? Let me give you another example. Toastmaster Deep, would it be okay for you to share the screen once again and show us the last slide, please? Yeah. So we see Toastmaster Deep over here. This is a beautiful slide. I give you the best presentation in the world, and I teach you how to ride a bicycle using this particular presentation. Now, to sum it all up, I also give you a test towards the end, and you get an A. But will you use this method to learn to ride a cycle? Question number 2, if you say yes, will you consider teaching your kids to ride a bicycle using this method? There you go. Thank you, Toastmaster Deep again. You've often heard of big corporates, C-suite executives saying that the knowledge that we gain in college doesn't really translate into the workforce environment. And these are just some of the reasons why. Now, if you ask me what's my favorite, I'll say gamification. Isn't that how we all learn through as kids? Through games, right? Through playing. And that's one of the best ways of learning. Now, I'm not saying that that's the only way to learn. Again, there are multiple ways that you can learn. Gamification just happens to be my favorite. I'm not going to go into detail on this particular topic because that's probably a speech for another day. Today, the least that I will say is that we have the technology to gamify and change the way we educate. We also don't need the technology all the time. So, dear Toastmasters, my request to you is that reduce the amount of time spent in lectures and try and inculcate these different ways of learning that I've shown you today so as to have a better educated future. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Glenn. The fourth speaker and the final speaker for this round will be attempting level 2 project 1 from the persuasive influence path. To evaluate this speech, we have Toastmaster Joy. Toastmaster Joy, I request you to please share the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Joy.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Raghav. This has been a very fine day so far, right? 3 meticulous speakers with well-crafted speeches and engaging delivery. Now, to add the cherry on top, my speaker today, Toastmaster Anurag, will be attempting project 1 under level 2 of the persuasive influence pathways. Timer, please note the speech length has to be between 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Anurag, wish you Godspeed, good luck, all the best.
I asked Toastmaster Anurag an objective question. 2 options, he has to choose one. The first option was, you get to visit a place of your choice anywhere in this world, which is totally free, or you get to have lunch with your favorite celebrity. Again, includes Hollywood and all. I personally would love to have lunch with Katrina Kaif. I thought, why would Toastmaster Anurag think any different? But his answer was very straightforward. Without spending a second, he said, I would visit the place of my choice any day, because nothing is compared to the beauty of nature. Toastmaster Anurag, knowing your leadership style, Toastmaster Anurag, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. What is the best quality you look for in a leader? I request you all to type your view in a chat box quickly, please. I have 30 seconds. Thank you all. Good morning, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmaster, and dear guests. Toastmaster International has given me this opportunity to explore various leadership styles, and I was intrigued by the learning I have got. Let me share few qualities of a leader which I found out. First, the role of a leader is not to come up with the great ideas. The role of a leader is to create an environment in which great ideas can happen. Second, leader is someone who sets an example, who inspires others, and who walks the talk. Last but not the least, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. In today's world, the key to successful leadership is to be influential, not authoritative. Leaders have 2 types of expertise. First, they know about the matter at the hand. Second, they know how to lead meticulously. Because you cannot lead if you don't know about the matter at the hand. Example, high-trained skilled lifeguard may not always be a good leader. The great leaders are Mahatma Gandhi, one of the example, empowered an entire nation through raising their motivation and self-belief. Steve Jobs, another example, used the shared vision to lead a technological revolution that impacted the world. In the process of understanding my leadership style, I was lost, and I am glad I was. It has taken years to analyze myself and other human nature to finally figure out who I am and what kind of leadership style I have and where my strength lies. It's been 15 long years in my corporate life, and I've been applauded always as an individual contributor. I've been awarded many times for my contribution to my organization for going extra mile. But whenever I ask for promotion to a leadership role, involving people management, I have been pushed back in the seat saying, Anurag, you are not ready for this role. This made me wonder, what does it take to be a leader? If I'm not fit for this role now, then how can I make myself fit? And many such questions started popping up in my small brain. I started getting all my answers slowly when I joined Toastmasters. First lesson I learned is to be a patient listener before you aim to be a good speaker, where I learned what not to say while giving any speech, which could tick off the audience. How should you start your presentation? How can you engage audience in first 5 seconds? Now, I have entered level 2, where I learn many kinds of lead styles one can adapt and improvise to become a leader. Actually, all of us have the potential to be a good leader. Only thing is to uncover it and realize our style and excel in it. It's like an app. All of us have it, but it is covered deep down under our belly fat. Surprisingly, the questionnaire in the project brought up 3 dominant traits, which was coaching, altruistic, and innovative as my leadership style. And I strongly agree with the style of coaching, as this is something what I have been doing it for quite a long time. Mentoring and nurturing is one of the things which I still do for new joinees in my team. Reason is simple. When I passed out of my college, my first project was teaching, and I still love teaching a lot. This way I can get to know different people coming from different walks of life. Another example is Toastmaster, where we always look up to our mentors to coach us, or even in corporate world, where if we are fortunate, we get good leaders who really support us in our corporate journey and pull us up and help us to grow. Second dominant leadership style is altruistic, which made me Google the meaning of this word. Never heard this word before. When I looked up the meaning, I got to know that this is about empathy. And in this quality, a leader is required to understand the need and weakness of their fellow teammates. And leader will treat them with their personal characteristic. I can relate this style with my previous boss, also a wonderful leader I met in my life, who touched my heart, who made me comfortable when I came to this crazy city first. He understood what all will make me feel settled so that I can be productive in work, also mentored me for long. And I must admit that whatever I am today is all because of him. Last but not the least is innovative leadership style, which I have. I see this style daily in my organization, where our leadership has given free hand to all the employees to come up with any new ideas which can bring more revenue, increase sales without breaking the rules of organization. At the end, I would say one should aspire to be a good leader, irrespective of what style we adopt, because life is unpredictable. Not everything is in our control, but as long as we are with the right leader, we can handle anything. I have found my leadership style. Have you? Over to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag, for a beautiful speech. Now I request Toastmaster Ritik to give the timers report for the prepared speeches round. Over to you, Toastmaster Ritik.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Usha took 7 minutes 32 seconds. She is not qualified. Toastmaster Mehak took 7 minutes 38 seconds, and she is also not qualified. Toastmaster Glenn took 7 minutes 25 seconds. He is qualified. Toastmaster Anurag took 6 minutes 44 seconds, and he is also qualified. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Raghav.
Since it was an icebreaker speech, can we consider this?
No, it's beyond that. Yeah.
Okay. So now can we have the poll for the best prepared speech? Round, please.
Toastmaster Raghav, I'll take 1 minute to edit the polls because there were disqualifications, post which I will launch them.
Sure.
I just have one suggestion or just an input. Usha was a little bit tough in between. So I was wondering if it's okay with everyone. We can give her the chance to be qualified because she's also doing Icebreaker, and it was just, I could see that she was trying to settle her cup down.
Yeah.
So if it's okay with everybody, then we can include her also in the polls. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So people get confused, or at least I am confused. What are the things to do in a lifetime? When I look around, I see the television, I look at my friends on social media. There are plenty of things, so many different places to visit in the world. I want to be a singer, I want to be a dancer. Even my friends are posting so many cool pictures in the swimming pool. I am yet to learn swimming. I mean, clicking photographs will be like miles apart. I'm even yet to share my extra kilos. But what happens? Then the Monday comes, I'm back to work, and till Friday, it's like gone like anything. I'm so occupied. Then on Saturday morning onwards, again, I start everything building from scratch. So does it happen with you too, Toastmasters? To provide us with the challenge of today's table topics round, we have the table topics master who will be conducting the session today. When I asked Toastmaster Urmila, if you were not in your current profession, what would you do? Her reply was, in life, many a times we plan for a certain outcome. Maybe we prepare for an exam, maybe we prepare for a job interview, but we see that we get the result, but it's something entirely different. In that case, I try to make myself happy by adapting to the new situation. And that's the spirit I think everyone should carry, to be happy in their lives. Please help me in welcoming table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Urmila. Over to you, Toastmaster Urmila.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Raghav. Life is uncertain and meticulous too. So we have already experienced in this COVID pandemic. This COVID pandemic has taught us a lot good and bad things. We are waiting for waiting for finding happiness in our life. And we convince ourselves that it will come to us by any way. So as for me, we live every day. We live every moment, love every day. Because before you know it, your precious time flies away. Good morning, everyone. My name is Urmila. So we have seen some fantastic prepared speeches, but in real life, we are hardly getting time to prepare speech. So the ability to speak confidently and clearly without any preparation is a very vital skill and simply comes with practice. At Toastmasters, the table topic sessions allow us to practice and speak confidently in a safe and friendly environment. So let's begin with the table topic sessions. Now let me call the timer to give the time guidelines.
Thank you, table topic master. So for the table topic speeches, we have an allotted time limit from 1 to 2 minutes, and there is a grace period of 30 seconds on the upper side of the time limit. So I'll be showing the green card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. And you can speak till 2 minutes 30 seconds. So I'll be presenting my timing reports once I'll be called by the table topic master. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster timer. So can anyone raise for the first topic? or shall guests also can participate in the debate topic session? So shall I start calling?
Yeah, Urmila. Engelbert is there. I can also take. Hello.
Okay, so okay. Okay. So as we all don't know when will be our last day. So grace period like grace period of 1 year in your life, then what will you do in that 1 year? If you get grace period in your life, which is 1 year grace period, if you get in your life, then what will you do in that period and why? Over to you, Toastmaster Engelbert.
Thank you, Toastmaster Urmila. I think it's a very beautiful topic. If it is the last year, there are too many things actually we have in our bucket list. You know, our buckets change, but our list never, stop. Uh, Thanks to, I think, we all want to improve. We have a hope, and that's why we have Toastmasters, or we have this very group, so that we all improve irrespective to whatever levels, and so that's why we all grow at the same time. So similarly, our list also grows. So if this was the last year, so I think I would meticulously plan, because obviously I know that this is going to be the last bucket of my life. So first thing is definitely I would like to do something for my family, also for my community. In fact, as the last time also I shared that during lockdown we have done a lot of community service, like feeding the people at the street. So maybe since I know this is my last chance, or my last year, so probably I would like to empower more people or train more people to do the good things. Second, I would like to do many things which I have not done, like especially adventure tours. I've rarely traveled out of Mumbai, so I would like to take my food review channel or my food review hobby to different, at least states. Forget of countries, but at least different parts of our own beautiful country, India. And definitely, I would also like to encourage the small entrepreneurs through this. Yeah, thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Urmila.
Thank you, Angel. But yeah, definitely, if we get grace period in our life, definitely we will plan to do something better, which we will, keep in mind, and we will rest assured for entire life. Thank you so much, Angel. Mehek. Okay, so can I call Mehek? Okay. So for Mehek, what made you satisfied most in life? Could you share some incident? What made you satisfied in your life? And you just share one incident. Over to you, Toastmaster Mehek.
So satisfied. We really don't get absolutely satisfied. No, we're never 100% satisfied. But yes, the most satisfactory incident of my life. Again, when I got in the college that I wanted. I am in Mumbai and I got in the college that I wanted. I got into science. I am doing something that I love. I'm getting to think on a technical aspect, which we never got to do before. So I'm in this team called as Arya in our college, and we have to register ourselves into competitions, which is accredited under NASA. So I'm getting to learn so much with this team, and that is really satisfactory. That is really calming, because from the from the time I've taken science, I didn't think I would get an opportunity to actually apply it. 2 years, and it's literally like this. 2 years, you don't get to do anything but just run for that one rank at JEE, IIT Chennai. We want IIT only. That is the only goal. So it is a happy moment that I'm getting to do something that I can apply myself on.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, definitely. We never happy in every situation, but we need to keep us happy wherever we go, wherever in like what situation we need to keep us happy. Yeah. So can I call Ritik for the next topic? Ritik?
Yeah.
So, like in life, there are many times we are planning something else and we are doing something else. So, like, did you feel any time in your life that you had planned something and you are doing something else? Yeah, over to you, Toastmaster Ritik.
Thank you, table topic master. So yeah, like it happens a lot. So if I give an instance, when I chose my engineering branch, so I was very weak in one subject. That was some sort of a binary and or gate something. Those are binary gates in computer science. So that was a chapter of physics in 12th class. So I was very weak. I used to avoid that chapter. And later in engineering, I took the same subject, and I didn't knew like this thing is part of that branch. So I was like, what I've taken in this engineering and what I was thinking in 12th, like I'll be taking some mechanics or some civil engineering kind of subject, but I took computer science just because of there are high salary jobs. So I was laughing at me in the first year of college. I was thinking like, you took this engineering branch just because of the salary packages and other things are like out of the books. But that thing and that random decision took me so good in the direction that today I did so many things in that subject, and I love that chapter also now, the binary gates. So this is something sometimes you don't need to take care about like what you like, what you don't like. Just take some random decisions, and that can make you so much happy in your life. And that's the instance which I remember. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Ritik. Thank you so much. Okay. So next, Akash, may I call Akash? Toastmaster Akash. Okay. So, is there any good incident happen in your life where you have helped an anonymous person and it means you a lot? So, is there any positive thing happens in your life where you have helped anonymous person and it makes you satisfied, or it makes you it had given you the happiness at that moment? Yeah, over to you, Toastmaster Akash.
Yeah. So good afternoon to all of you. Yeah. So during my college, when I was studying my engineering in Kolkata, in Jalpur city, so there was an incident which I remember at that moment, that I, with my friends, were going to outside our market from my universities, and at that moment, one guy has come, and he has asked for 500 rupees, and that was a very huge amount for me and to my friends. And we have asked what happened to you, why you are asking so a big amount to us. Then he has said that he has lost his wallet and he has to go to his home. He has come to Calcutta for the treatment purpose, but right now the wallet has lost and he's not able to go back to his home. And we were discussing, me and my friends were discussing what to do and something like that. Then we have an argument that this was a common one of the trick that was learning at that time in Calcutta, that people used to ask money, 100 rupees, 50 rupees for some kind of treatment or something like that. At that moment, I was also thinking about that time, but I suddenly think that we are going for something else. We are four friends. If we are going to pay 125 rupees per person, then we can do. Maybe that the person going to be help a lot. And he has also stated that if he go back to his home, then he will return to that money. And at that moment, I with my friends provided him 500 rupees, and just forget that. After 1 week, I have seen that in my wallet or with my account, the 500 rupees is debited from that, and that's a very happiness. Means the purpose of the purpose to give money to him was fulfilled. That he has reached to his home. And the second thing is that right now it's a bit negative that people are not honest, but I feel that people are honest. it's some people's that is creating a negative impact of society, and that's it. Thanks. Over to you, Toastmaster Urmila.
Yeah, I totally agree, because if we help someone with the purpose, it is our choice. But if we help to the anonymous person, that really makes us a lot, like it give us happiness a lot, and that things like that happiness will come to us at anywhere. Yeah, so I totally agree with this. Can I call Alter? I can see he has raised his hand. Yeah. So for Alter, have you experienced true calling ever in your life? And what will be your, have you experienced true calling? True calling, yeah, true calling in your life, and what was your actions towards that? Like, there are many people who are having dream, and they are doing something, like they are going to some other stream. So have you experienced true calling, like in our inner voice who is telling you something, and what was your plan for that, or have you have any plan for that? Yeah, over to you, Toastmaster Alter.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Urmila. So yes, whenever we are as a part of life, we are having our journey and doing our jobs and all. Some inner calling is there whenever it gives you. So I was in IT field, and there was a trend, like everyone was going to the US on site and all. And I was also a right position over there, and in infra management services, everyone was getting the opportunity to go for the on-site assignment. I too also got filed my H1 visa and all, received my visa. Everyone congratulated me, but my inside was calling me, telling me like, Walter, you are not going to fit over there. You are not going to enjoy over there. So whenever the opportunity came, I took my call, like I don't want to go. But then, in corporate world, we have to take a call. And finally, for one project, I went over there. But after reaching over there, I realized I cannot enjoy over there. I cannot be the social life and all. I cannot call. And then I again convinced my bosses, like, no, I cannot. I don't want to be on site, and went back, come back to this. Today, I don't have any regret. And finally, I moved my job where there was no on-site assignment and all. I moved to that different stream, different companies where there will be local assignments. Same way, the public speaking. So that is also a true calling, where I have become a part of the Toastmaster in 2011 when I was in IBM. But then because of the busy schedule, and I couldn't able to continue. But that inherent this thing was there, like I should join, I should be effective communicator, because that was a core lacking. And the inside calling was there, but I couldn't able to take the decision. Over the some time, I convinced and again the journey, and I think this is what I wanted to be, because that's what the effective communicator and was our dream. We also wanted to have that dream, like we will also share our knowledge with our close one and our professional circles and all. So when I joined over there, this was again a true calling in my view. That's it from me. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alter. Time is precious, so we are ending this table topic sessions. May I ask timer to report the timer for the table topics? What do you talk?
Thank you, table topic master Mila. So we had 5 amazing table topic speeches. So the first one is Toastmaster Engelbert. He took 1 minute 9 seconds, and he is qualified. The second speaker was Toastmaster Mehak. She took 1 minute 31 seconds, and she's also qualified. Third speaker was Toastmaster Ritik, which is me, and I took 1 minute 28 seconds, and I'm also qualified. And the fourth speaker is Toastmaster Akash. He took 2 minutes 12 seconds, and he's also qualified. And the last speaker is Toastmaster Walter. He took 2 minutes 23 seconds, and he's also qualified. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritik, for the time records. I'm ending this table topic sessions. Over to Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Urmila, for beautifully conducting this session. Okay, now we have the poll, so I request every participants to please vote for it, for the best table topic speaker. In the book, The Alchemist, there is a boy who goes out in search of a worldly treasure as valuable and precious as any. On his journey, he encounters a lot of obstacles, but it's challenged, and its lesson actually tells him to listen to his heart. Why? Because what our heart says, it is kind of the language of the God. Even further in his path, he encounters even more difficult challenges. But he knew that if he listens to his heart, he can overcome all these challenges. The next round is a very important part of a Toastmaster meeting. In this meeting, constructive feedback is given to each speaker and overall conduct of the meeting, and members can benefit from the experience of the evaluator. To conduct this session, we have the general evaluator. Now, I would like to hand over the session to general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Sudha. Over to you, Toastmaster Sudha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Raghav. Thank you. I'm sure we all are enjoying the different facets, the motivational speeches, the funny elements in our life, and obviously being hosted by amateurs, people who are beginning their step and done so beautifully. So I think, first of all, let's congratulate all of them, the first time TMoD and the first time TTM and the first time Icebreaker, Madam Usha. Can we all just put our hands together and congratulate all the first timers? Thank you so much. So as everyone knows that this is the most important session of any Toastmaster meeting, because we are here to learn, develop, and grow. And in the process, we need to know where we have gone wrong, what is it that we can do to improve ourselves. And that's why the essence of feedback. So I will be doing the the most important part of the session, which is the feedback session. And for a change, Babu sir is going to be sitting in the background and listening to me doing it. Maybe he can give me an evaluation on my general evaluation at the end of it. Okay, so to just elaborate for the guests, and I think we do have a guest amidst us, the format of the general evaluation session will be that I will be taking up the evaluation of the speeches first, and then there will be feedback on the overall format of the meeting. So to assist me in doing so, I would like to call upon the timer to the timer report for the evaluation sessions. Would you like to just go through that, Ritik?
Okay, yeah. So for the evaluations, the time limit is from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. So, and there is a grace period of 30 seconds on either side of time limit. So you can speak from 1 minute 30 seconds to till 3 minutes 30 seconds. And I'll be presenting my timing reports once I'll be called by the general evaluator. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritik. So to start the process of evaluation, I would like to call upon the first evaluator, a person who is very energetic, a founder member of the club who's been there from the beginning and has graduated beautifully in the last 2 to 3 months, and has also participated in the contests, the area contests and the club contests. So let us put our hands together to call upon the first evaluator of the evaluation session, Toastmaster Sarika, to evaluate our Madam Toastmaster Usha's icebreaker speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Sarika.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sudha. My speaker, Toastmaster Usha. She was, as she mentioned that she has done and she has given a lot of ice-breaking speech, but this was the first time that she introspected on what exactly is her icebreaker speech, She started the speech very beautifully by giving what icebreaker means to her. She included a metaphor where she compared the icebreaker speech to the Gola Wala with beautiful colors and how the transition happened. Then she connected to the title, that was what personality she is today, what personality am I today. The flow of the speech was just very good, starting from the birth, how the father expected the second child to be their son, and how he accepted and treated her like a boy. Then the school life. In the school life, she brought her emotions in it, that she first time figured out the emotion of jealousy or being envious. Then the college life, her education, the career path, that how she started with a bank and how much the IT impressed her, and she was so keen that she actually spoke about the entire transition from handling audit to IT and now handling a large team to almost 400 people. She's truly a leader, and she's just flawlessly she speaks. It didn't seem that it's her first icebreaker, and as she mentioned, she has given number of speeches. She also told about her social work, how she became the president of Rotary, and then she was located in Pune. She wanted to locate it. The work location was Pune, and so the entire flow of the speech, you can see so much of confidence, and that really comes with experience. And I could sense that she's so experienced, and how beautifully she started talking about this flow, the structure, very confident, the vocabulary that she used, everything was really very nice. It was a wonderful speech, and it was so inspiring to hear also. There are hardly few recommendations, but I would maybe two recommendations from my side. One was, I think I missed the eye gesture and the hand movement. So that is something that maybe, my speaker Toastmaster Usha can, in her next speech, use more hand movement and eye gesture, looking at the, contacting the audience. And second, I think in the content of the speech, somewhere I was looking for the link of how she landed up in the Toastmaster. So that is something, these are the two recommendations that I feel that maybe she could have ended the speech with how she landed up in Toastmaster from Rotary to Toastmaster, and how the journey has started beginning in Toastmaster. Otherwise, it was an amazing speech, wonderfully drafted, crafted, and beautiful. We really look forward for many more speeches, Toastmaster Usha. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarika, for an excellent evaluation. When it's already a superb speech, how is it that we give valuable feedback so the speaker improves? And that's what you've actually shown in your evaluation. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarika. Moving on to the next speaker and the evaluator in context is our very dear Toastmaster Babu sir, who's a mentor to our club. And I'm sure Toastmaster Mehak is waiting for that very valuable feedback. Over to you, Toastmaster Babu.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and our meticulous speaker, Mehak in particular. Much like your title, which spoke about difficulties, I am now myself confronted by an extreme difficulty in trying to give you an evaluation worthy of your speech. Your message, difficulties don't just strengthen you, but make you extraordinary, was just one of the pearls of wisdom that came out right through your speech. Add to this a quote from Abdul Kalam, a poem, I am still standing. And all of this went into a beautiful package of a beautiful speech. For a speech to make its mark, you need to have audience engagement. And today our speaker did just that. Through a well-constructed content, through a beautiful voice, which was clear and well understood, through gestures and eye contact. Let us try and analyze each of these. Her speech was full of plethora of messages, and I found it very difficult to write all these things down. But a few which stood out were, difficulties don't come to destroy you, but come to help you. Legends are formed from struggles of reality. And she started off this very well through that personal example of her winning the tournament as the captain of the hockey team. And as if to emphasize that success is not always hunky-dory, she spoke of her own failure in attempting the IIT exam. And again with a message to boot where she said, no matter how many failures you have, you always learn afresh. But the best example that I liked was that of the coconut tree, which stands tall even in blinding rain because it knows that it cannot fall. It needs the water for it to survive. And I think that was a fantastic message which virtually summed up how we need to face difficulties. So was it all hunky-dory as far as a speech was concerned? Yes, almost, I would say, except for a couple of points as recommendation. First one being that the fact that the speaker overshot her time indicated that there were too many messages in the entire speech. Perhaps she could have constructed the paragraphs better and the transitions better and had just 2 or 3 messages which could be well remembered by the audience. The other was the transitions from one to another. She had 3 distinct illustrations of the hockey tournament, the IIT attempt, and the coconut tree. Now, these could have been structured so well that at the end of all of this, a message would have followed. But all in all, I would say a well-constructed speech, great voice, great eye contact. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Babu. Yes, it was a wonderful speech by Toastmaster Mehak, and we enjoyed every aspect of the speech in terms of the message, your involvement, and also you're a sports person. That's the new news to all of us. So I think when Mumbai Speakers has a hockey match, Mehak is going to be the captain for sure. Great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Babu. Moving along to the next speaker, and the evaluation in context would be done by Toastmaster Deep for Toastmaster Glenn on his L1 P2 speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Deep.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, Madam Toastmaster Sada. It is said that if you feed a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach a man how to fish, you feed him for life. And what a wonderful example about learning was given through this speech by Toastmaster Glenn. Concrete. He started out by introducing his topic, then conducted a poll, which he was very well prepared for, then took us through the research that was done by the National Institute of Learning, I think, and then he proved the point at the end by the example of a bicycle. So his entire flow of the speech was so meticulous that it sealed the message that he was trying to deliver. So very well done on that part. And the second thing, the way he used all the different tools available on this online platform, be it the PowerPoint presentations, be it polls, be it proving your point through the bicycle example. All these revolved around the message that he was trying to deliver. That don't just lecture, try to get more elements in to enhance your learning. Thank you very much for doing that as well. Now, moving on to how we can improve this speech a little further. Although the structure of the speech and the message was very well, I felt the example that you gave, if you could elaborate a little bit on how we can go from lecturing, which is the traditional form of learning, to applying kinesthetic, as you said, learning by doing. And a very simple example for that could be public speaking. All of us here are there to learn how to give a speech. How can we go from listening to a lecture, how to give a speech, all the way to applying kinesthetics, how to give a speech? If you could add that, that would mean you are helping the audience apply the message instead of just delivering. So that is one suggestion. And another minor suggestion from my side would be, you used a lot of hand gestures, body movements, but because of the virtual background, a lot of times your hands got covered and I could not completely see that. And last thing was, in the middle of your speech, I think you took one or two pauses without the impact. That was a little confusing to me. So maybe if you could try and rehearse your speech once or twice before delivering it, it could be a lot smoother than it was. But all in all, it was a wonderful speech, an excellent message, and you practice the way you speak by using all the different technical gimmicks that we have, be it a PowerPoint presentation, be it the polls, and it was a very well constructed message. Thank you so much. And I'm sure if you apply just these small things here and there, you are on your way to becoming the most eloquent speaker I have seen. Thank you very much. And over to you, General Evaluator, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deep, for that wonderful evaluation. And yes, I think, as he absolutely right said, that we all hate people who just talk. We want action. And I think if we can improve all our effectiveness in every forms of life by doing what we want others to do, isn't that going to be a beautiful world? Great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Deep, on your evaluation. Moving on to the last speaker's evaluation, which will be done by our very own dear Toastmaster Joy on Toastmaster Anurag's speech. Be prepared, Toastmaster Anurag. Over to you, Toastmaster Joy.
Thank you for that subtle warning, Toastmaster Sudha. All right, Toastmaster Anurag, well done. Quickly to tell you what you've done well, you started with a question, you engaged the audience, asked them to go ahead and post their responses, so that was good. The structure was pretty neat as well. You started with the question, which is the quality of a leader, followed it up with what is the role of a leader. You cited examples of Steve Jobs and Mahatma Gandhi. You personalized the speech as well. You shared your very short story of how you've been an individual contributor for 15 years and you've been denied promotion so far. And finally, as far as your body language is concerned, I'm sure you already know this, you have a very pleasant disposition. You're very cheerful. You have that smile on your face. You had eye contact. I would have loved to see some gestures as well, okay? Now, this happens to be more like a research-based topic. So you went ahead and learned the different leadership styles and then you presented those. So there's not much to critique because then it would be critiquing the research per se. Nevertheless, whatever little I have as far as recommendations are concerned, number one, maybe a little more creativity with the topic. Yeah, so the title of your speech was Knowing Your Leadership Style. The purpose of your speech is knowing your leadership style. So it's absolutely one and the same. So maybe a little more creativity. Maybe you could call yourself Coach Anurag and that would be the title. All right, so the short story that you included, which is you being an individual contributor and not getting that promotion for several years. So what happened? So I did not get any closure to that particular story. So I was interested in knowing, okay, now that you've learned quite a few traits of a leader, I'd like to know what happened. So did you get that promotion or because you're already coaching a whole lot of new joiners at your organization, does that mean that you already accepted your role as a leader? So what happened? So maybe a little more, ending to that. Your examples came in the middle of the speech, okay, and they seemed a little generic. Okay, but when you were discussing the three leadership styles, which is coaching, altruistic, and innovative, I thought that was the best place to go ahead and add those examples. So can you name a few leaders who can be called coaching leaders? Mahatma Gandhi, for example, altruistic, Mother Teresa, innovative leaders, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. So I think the, if the idea is to go ahead and inform your participants, the examples would better fit when you're trying to discuss these different styles. The closing seemed to be a little out of place. I'm not sure how life being unpredictable and nothing being in your control has anything to do with, aspiring to be a leader, because even for leaders, I think life is fairly unpredictable. Yeah, and pretty much a whole lot of things still remain out of your control. Yeah, but yes, you can go ahead and still do a whole lot of things. So maybe a little more clarity on that closing. So that's about it. All in all, well done. So this was a good speech. Looking forward to more speeches from your end. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Sudha.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joy, for that wonderful evaluation. Very carefully rendered. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Joy. So moving on with the other part of my role, which is to give feedback on the overall meeting. So the meeting started well on time with a little bit of jinx on the link. But I think we all need to know, as members here, we have just changed the Zoom link, and we are still coping with the few erratic situations that we will face with the new link. I'm sure this will settle down very soon. As long as we react soon before the meeting, we are all in here. Yeah. At least the guest also was able to log in, which was a great thing. We had a new SAR today, which was obviously trained by our very own dear SAR, Walter. And I think he did a wonderful job on opening the meeting with a lot of sincerity and dedication, brought up a presentation and tried to make a difference to the role in terms of trying to make it visualistic, so that we remember what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do. So kudos to that, Toastmaster Akash. In fact, he's also doing this for the first time. So I think we should really clap for him as well. Congrats, Toastmaster Akash. There is only one thing I observed in your slide. I think you didn't change the title. I think the title was still the old title, which was Leaders in Us. So I think that was a small correction, which maybe you could have looked into as well. Not a problem. Now, before I move into the others, I want to say something, that we are all in it here to make sure that we grow. And I think it'll be a dishonor to my role if I'm going to only say the nice things. So as a role which is also double-hatted by me being a VP education as well as a general evaluator today, please allow me to be as critical as possible so that we don't repeat our mistakes in the future as well. Before I get on to the elaborate details of the meeting, I would like Toastmaster Ritik to just call up about the timing report for the evaluations, please. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So we had 4 evaluations. So the first evaluator was Toastmaster Sarika. She took 3 minutes 22 seconds and she is qualified. Second evaluator was Toastmaster Babu. He took 3 minutes 32 seconds. He is not qualified. Third evaluator was Toastmaster Deep. He took 3 minutes 14 seconds and he is qualified. The fourth and last evaluator was Toastmaster Joy. He took 3 minutes 11 seconds and he is qualified. Over to you, General
Thank you
Evaluator.
so much. Toastmaster Babu, I think when you have got a timer ahead of you, we know how difficult it is for you to keep up with the timings. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Babu. So moving ahead with the introduction of the guests by the presiding officer, and his opening was beautiful. And he went on with the aspect of leadership, which was a very important aspect right now being talked about, because we are just around the elections time, and it is important for us to all ponder about whom we choose and what are the roles that will be important for this club to get to greater heights. So kudos to that, Toastmaster Babu. And the Toastmaster of the day, I think he started off so beautifully with such a beautiful topic, Miles to Go Before I Sleep, a very, very dear poem in all our hearts, because I remember, irrespective of any curriculum that you have studied, if you have had an English teacher, you would not miss this poem in your life. I think we remember either in elocutions or maybe the teachers talking about it and analyzing this poem a lot. And you brought us back to the very pertinent question of the topic in today's present situation in our lives today. How much of it do we give importance to, that we just go on with the rat race and do what is required for us to do? How much of us really spend time doing what is we like rather than what we have to? So the wants and the have tos. So brilliant topic, very close to all of our hearts. You resonated with a lot of situations, holidays, professions, the Saturday to Sunday routine, and then the Monday blues. I mean, perfect. I think you really gave us a lot of strong messages. You introduced the timer, which was Ritik. I think he did a great job on introducing his role. And also he had something different, which I saw. He not only had the timer screen, he also introduced the color, which is good. Keep improvising. We have to get to the best to make sure that we adopt that as a pattern. Engelbert, excellent on his introduction to the word of the day, and meticulous. And I think a lot of us used it extensively, because I think that is the precision planning and detailing which we all need in our lives. So thanks for that reminder. And we went on to the R counter, where we got Engelbert to talk about the R counter role as well. So before we move on again, can I call upon the grammarian to give their report, as well as the R counter after that to give their report as well? Grammarian, would you like to come ahead and give your report, please?
Thank you, Toastmaster. Actually, it was very, very overwhelming to see so many people using the word of the day. So it would be wrong on my part if I start naming them, because actually it should be everybody used. And in fact, I have kept a note of those who have used multiple times. So we have Babu sir and we have Raghav, who have used multiple number of times. This Toastmasters of the day. In terms of good usage, again, there's a exhaustive list of use. I think today everybody was informed. So we had words like nightmare, mind-boggling, drown in books, well-crafted, vital skill, hosted by amateurs, pearls of wisdom, plethora, subtle warning, double-hatted, and the list goes on and on. Because as I continue, the fragrance from my kitchen gets stronger. Then the list of not so good words would be doing my college. One guy has come, and a few here and there. So once again, thank you for all of you for using the word of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Engelbert. Can I please request the R counter to present his report, Toastmaster Ajay?
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sudha. First of all, it was a very nice speeches given by every speakers, and also the evaluator. The evaluator really, very nice. Toastmaster of the table topic master. Fantastic speeches, and it is very difficult for me to note down each and every crutch words, crutch, filler phrases, repeat words. Very difficult for this particular session. Let me present my report. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghav. He used so 3 times and 4 times, then 6 times, long pause 2 times. Speaker 1, Toastmasters Usha. She used R 2 times, so 2 times, and 4 times, 3 long pauses. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Mehak. She used so 3 times and 2 times, 3 times, long pause 1 time, storm 4 times. I know this is relevant to her speech, but still I noted this. Speaker 3, Toastmaster Glenn. He used but 3 times and 3 times, long pause 2 times. Speaker 4, Toastmaster Anurag. He used so 2 times, long 3 times, but 2 times. Leadership, he used 3 times. I know this is relevant to his speech, but still I counted this. And the speech evaluator, Toastmaster Sharika, she used 2 times and she used 2 times. The speech evaluated to number 2, Toastmaster Babu sir. He used and 3 times. The speech evaluator 3, Toastmaster Deep. He used so 4 times and 3 times, then 3 times. The speech evaluator number 4, Toastmaster Joy. He used but 2 times. Timer, Mr. Toastmaster Ritik. He used and 2 times. Grammarian, Toastmaster Engelbert. He used and 3 times, and 2 times he also paused. And the table topic master, Toastmaster Urmila, she used and 3 times, long pause 2 times. Table topic master the speeches, Engelbert, he used and 2 times. Mehak, she used that is 3 times. I am 3 times. Toastmaster Ritik, in table topic speech, he used so 3 times and 3 times. I was 3 times. Akash, Toastmaster Akash, in the table topic, he used that is 3 times and 4 times, 1 long pause. Walter, in table topic speech, he used so 3 times. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Sudha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajay, for that detailed report of the R counter. So moving on with the other aspects of the meeting, we started off with the prepared speeches, the first one being the icebreaker. And I think Toastmaster Usha definitely didn't seem like a person who was breaking ice. She was so comfortable in the role, and she delivered such a beautiful speech, right from her childhood to what she's doing now, from a child which was the boy of the boy role of her father, to what she's doing today, where she wants to be a caregiver. Beautiful rundown of your life, ma'am. We really enjoyed listening to you. The second speech was Toastmaster Mehak, who also, in her usual charm, really enamored us with her speech in terms of what she looks at as difficulties and adversities in life and how she handles it. And what a beautiful message coming from a 20-year-old. Mehak, you're already on your way to become a motivational speaker. Take that as another thing that you can probably work towards being. Wonderful. I just loved your pearls of wisdom. Congratulations to that. But because time was not on your side, we couldn't really look at you as one of the contenders for the prepared speeches. We went on to the next speech, which was our dear President, Toastmaster Glenn, who gave us real life his career, his experience, where he definitely gave us a message that we need to change the way we learn in terms of being effective. And COVID has given us no other option but to remain behind the screen and listen to people speaking. But unfortunately, how many children, we are only doing a Toastmasters meeting. I'm just thinking of the children who are sitting there at age 5 and 6 behind screens and trying to learn something and think that that is school and that is their student life beginning. Wow, my heart goes out to them. So great, Glenn. Thanks for a reminder on those issues. Well done on your speech. Toastmaster Anurag, you also you were also excellent in your speech, especially I liked your attire. You came with looking like a leader who wanted to leave an impression with us. And yes, you did, with all the attributes of what Toastmasters project made you experience in terms of your leadership style: altruistic, coaching, and innovative. Kudos. Good aspects for you to consider when you finally get the green signal from your corporate managers to go ahead. But believe me, let me tell you a secret. Don't wait for them to give you a chance. Just go ahead and experience your leadership in all the other facets of life. And if they don't still recognize it, change your job. Anyway, moving on to the, after that, we had a wonderful session from Toastmaster Urmila. Now, Toastmaster Urmila, you're a very sincere, dedicated person at any role that you take up. I've seen that as an important trait of your personality. Now, when you come upon as a table topics master, it is important for you to be dedicated and diligent in your role. But I would have liked some laughter, some smile on your face. You were so nervous trying to do the role. I just felt, just ease up, I mean, we also wanted some exciting sessions. We did have exciting sessions with the topics that you made us go through, but maybe a little bit of, relaxing, but it comes with time. I'm sure you've just done your icebreaker speech and you've just gone on to the TTM. So try to keep your nerves as much as possible relaxed. It's not easy, but try it. I think you will be a better table topics master the next time. But excellent topics, again, very much with the theme. I liked your very soulful, searching approach to the table topics, which we all thoroughly enjoyed. Moving on to the Toastmaster of the day again. I think Toastmaster of the day gave us a very good insight into his experiences, books, pretty much well-read person, I must say. And I think we need to get a book list from you, maybe, trying to understand where you get your inspirations from. Because your first speech was about your marketing career. So I mean, sales and marketing career. And I thought you really go to a lot of sources for, getting yourself charged and motivated to take on the day. So very well done. I think you transferred that into your Toastmaster of the Day theme as well. And we all enjoyed it a lot. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and your experiences on that. Now moving on to the evaluations. I think there's one thing I want to tell everybody. If we all depend upon evaluation and feedback to improve, then I think we also need to slowly move into the stage where we can take up evaluations. Now, to be very honest, when we talk of evaluations, there are a few people that I can go up to. So, or we have to probably get some people from outside. And Babu sir always does the job of the general evaluator. And today he said, I want to have a change. Let me do only the speech evaluation. So sometimes I feel that we all need to look for those elements of a good evaluation, because we need good evaluators in our own club. I mean, we have great ones, but I'm encouraging all the new ones to start looking at what is it that makes an evaluation excellent and effective. And in today's session, I can say every evaluator was experienced and brought forth a myriad of experiences and feedback, which I think all of us can take back. So let us encourage evaluations a little bit more. I'm planning a education session once again on evaluation, maybe the next meeting or the meeting after that. And even if it's not relevant to the contests which are coming, I think we all need to just train ourselves to be good evaluators. So that's on the evaluation. So moving on to the summary of the meeting, I think we had an excellent session of great speakers, amazing evaluators, a wonderful TMoD, and also a great diligent Toastmaster of the day who helped us soul search our thoughts. So with that, I think I've completed my general evaluation and I would like to hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudha. We all have a dream. We all have our own personal legend. We just can't escape our heart. So it's better that we listen to what our heart has to say. This reminds me of a small story. On a fine day in the year 1990, in Mangalore, Karnataka, in a bus depot, there was a man who was selling oranges. Suddenly, a foreigner comes up to him and asks, "What is the price of these oranges?" But he was illiterate. He didn't understand what the foreigner was asking. And then the foreigner went away. This incident really impacted him. He thought, why? I mean, then that day he understood the value of education. He was suffering from abject poverty and there was no school in his village. So he took this responsibility upon himself that I will establish a school in my village so that all the village children can study there and get educated. He was a very poor man. He was just an orange seller, right? Even he put his personal savings on setting up that school, of course, with the help of the local community. And this person that I am talking about is none other than this year's Padma Shri Award recipient, Hajekala Hajabba. As Paulo Coelho rightly says, when you want something very badly, the entire universe conspires in order to give it to you. With this thought, I would like to hand over the proceedings to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Babu. Over to you, Toastmaster Babu.
Just quickly, can we have the polls?
Yeah, we have the polls? Yeah, sorry.
Okay, while the polls are being organized, I must say that we've had, okay, let me finish the poll. Yes, okay, while the polls are on, I must say that we've had one of the most exciting sessions in recent times. And it would be unfair, of course, to say that all credit should go to the Toastmaster of the day. But you can't take the credit away from him for having anchored such a beautiful session with so many wonderful thoughts and wonderful messages, and for being the captain of the ship today to take us through a beautiful course right through the last 2 hours and to have brought us to a wonderful destination. So let us all put our hands together to the Toastmaster of the day and to the entire team of role players who have made this a session to remember. In passing, I must specifically commend the General Evaluator, Madam Toastmaster Sudha, for giving a no holds barred, if I may say, but very constructive evaluation. And in fact, she has now given me the courage and confidence to perhaps take a small sabbatical from the role of the General Evaluator. That's on a lighter note. Of course.
Not going anywhere, Babu sir.
That's on a lighter note, don't worry. Okay. What I like most about the sessions that we've been having is that it very much echoes the thought that our Toastmaster of the day has said. Listen to the heart when you face challenges. Looking at the sessions that have been taking place, especially this and the last few sessions, the number of members who have been taking up various roles, preparing for their projects, delivering their icebreaker speeches, and most of all, we've been having a fairly healthy attendance. I think all of this goes to show that we are indeed echoing the thoughts of Paulo Coelho, where he said, listen to the heart in taking up these challenges. I can only urge all of you to keep this going, because while we have taken away a lot of learnings in the first 6 months that we have been together as a club, I think the real challenges will come now in the next 6 months when the second executive committee is going to take shape. And for this, I will exhort all of you who have still not sent in your applications for the various executive committee roles to jump in and give your nominations so that we can have a very healthy election and we can all pull together as a wonderful club in the months to come. I will now call upon our guest, probably the only guest, Shweta, to tell us about her experiences in attending the session today. Guest Shweta, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
And we have your views and how you've felt about the session.
Yes, so I think this was my first session that I attended, and it was quite an exploratory and wonderful session. In fact, I could see multiple various speakers from various backgrounds expressing their views. So I think more and as I attend more and more sessions, it would be more of a discovery thing for me. And I think the feedbacks that are given are form a very crucial part of this, because there is somewhere, you know, where we can really improvise and we know what others think of us. So I think I'm very happy to be a part of Toastmasters and would want to be a part of this journey so that, you know, later in my life, I'm also one of the Toastmasters. Thank you. Thank you for inviting, and great to be here.
Thank you so much, Shweta. And we will be only too glad to have you on board very soon. And in case you still have any more questions, we will be only too glad to share the answers with you at the end of the session today. And any of the senior Toastmasters, in particular Toastmaster Deep, can help you out on this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Now, are we done with the results, the polling, or I don't see any. Okay, shall we go ahead with the results? Okay, there goes. Speaker, Toastmaster Usha.
Thank you so much.
Icebreaker, very well done, Toastmaster Usha.
Thank you.
You've had a blazing start. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Congrats. Okay, now what do we have next?
If I may, Ritik, can you just take the photograph of Toastmaster Usha and Toastmaster Babu?
Yes.
With the certificate?
Yes.
Ritik, is it done?
Done?
Ritik, is it done?
Ritik, are you there?
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll be smiling for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Okay. Next is the table topic. Well done, Engelbert. Nice to see you bagging awards for table topics. I think you're slowly coming of age, and we are very happy to see you not only taking up the challenge of table topics, but also winning. Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And I suppose the next one is the best evaluator, and it goes to Toastmaster Joy De Silva. Master Joy. Always look forward to the evaluation. Well done. And do we have the best of big three award now? Oh, let's have the photograph.
Where is Joy?
Joy, are you there? I think he has dropped off. Okay.
Dropped off, yeah.
Right.
Moving ahead.
Let's move ahead, and the best. Very well done, Toastmaster Engelbert.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's have your photograph once again. Today you're on the spotlight for several reasons.
Thank you.
I've taken the photograph.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And now the best topic of Toastmasters today. Let's give him a huge round of applause for a wonderful role on his debut as the Toastmaster of the day. Very well done, Toastmaster Raghav. Keep it up. And let's have a photograph.
I've taken the photograph.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Toastmaster Ritik. Okay, and then I think with the awards done.
Sorry. Do we have a group photo also, Ritik?
Yeah, we can have.
Yeah. And before that, just one last word. And it is that we will most probably, in fact, almost sure to have the elections for the executive committee on the 12th of December. So please mark the date in your calendars, because we will need a quorum, a full attendance, or at least 50 plus attendance to ensure that the elections can be conducted. Okay, so let's now give our best poses for a photograph before we conclude.
Yes, Shweta, if you could also turn on the camera for the photograph, it would be really
There is some technical issue at my place.
Okay, no worries.
Hence, I'm not able to switch it on, but surely from next time.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So everyone, please smile, give an emoji. The photograph will be taken in 5 seconds. Thank you so much.